silver spoon in your mouth. They say that means you were born lucky. This bird was born with an actual spoon on its face. Silver. Note really. It's the spoon-billed sandpiper, and I found mine on a mudflat in Paktale, Thailand, February 12th, 2018. We got there by 7:30 that morning, a handful of other birders already scattered along the flats. More than 10,000 shorebirds were out there working the mud, and somewhere in that crowd, maybe one or two spoon-billed sandpipers. I had my camera ready with long lens, but the bird was so far out. Even my 500mm, that wasn't enough. So I left the camera and borrowed a friend's scope just to actually see it. We searched for an hour or so, working through flock after flock, trying to pick one small sandpiper out of 1,000 lookalikes. Then, finally, there it was. My name is Sabu, and I've spent the last 20 years birding across the remotest corners of Asia and Africa. And now I'm on a mission to sketch 200 rare birds of Asia that I think every birder should try to see in their lifetime. Along the way, I believe birding and sketching will teach us something simple. Slow down, learn, and appreciate the small things in life a little more. In every video, I'll tell you where and when to find these birds while I sketch and share my own experiences. So subscribe, share, and let's explore. And then there's that strange spoon-shaped curve is what gives this bird so much character. But it's not just for looks. The bird sweeps it from side to side through the wet mud, picking up tiny prey that other shorebirds might miss. Sadly, there are thought to be only around 200 breeding pairs left in the wild and listed as critically endangered. The one I saw in Thailand was in its non-breeding plumage, which is much plainer, so that's the bird I actually saw on the mudflats. The burnt sienna wash across the head and chest that I'm adding here comes from reference photos of its breeding plumage, not from my own sighting. To see the bird in this plumage, you'd have to travel to the Chukchi Peninsula in far eastern Russia, beyond Kamchatka, where the remaining breeding pairs nest each June and July near the village of Menipilgino. These birds never sit still, always foraging, so I keep the pose loose on the page. And I leave the belly untouched. It's pale, so the white of the paper does that work, not the brush. If you don't want to travel to remote Russia and can live without breeding plumage, go where I went, Paktale, on Thailand's coast, about 2.5 hours southwest of Bangkok. I went in February, the most reliable time and when specialist birding groups visit. On the mudflats, you can find great knot, red-necked stint, curlew sandpiper, and, if you're lucky, Nordmann's greenshank. Funny enough, that late winter window isn't a coincidence. It's exactly when the world's specialist tour operators book their trips too, since the odds of a sighting are best right then. Thanks for joining me today. If you'd like to try sketching or coloring this bird yourself, you can download the free printable sketch from the link below. And if you want to slow down and discover more rare and endemic birds with me, subscribe and share this with someone who'd love it too. In the next episode, we're traveling to the Philippines to find a majestic eagle. I was there birding in 2019, in an area where the army and communist rebels were still exchanging fire. So, quite literally, I was birding on the firing line. See you next time.